black sky, smoke in my lungs, dust on my tongue, tastes like the end. Sirens buried in rain, billboards burning, names I'll never know again. I've got ashes in my teeth, breathing ruins, breathing grief, but I'm still here, I'm still here, I'm still here. If the world has to fall, let it crash, let it crawl. I'll bleed, I'll break, but I won't disappear.
Alrighty, so we're gonna kind of go into Max's now. So all the rest of you can cover your cameras. Hezekiah, stay close.
All right.
So Matt, or Max,
Yes.
I should say. That's gonna fuck with me. We're gonna actually go backwards in time from where we go with where we've been with everyone else. Instead of starting in the morning, we're going to start in the 1 second. For some reason my mic's picking that up, Mom. Thank you. Pick up here. Okay. We're gonna actually start back in time a little bit before it becomes morning. Let's move us over. You have broken into the basement levels of Eden Corporation building. You talked to one of the new hires that were brought on to your journalist group, one of the sons of one of the main editors, into taking your place for the night, saying something about how your cat has gone missing or something like that. And while they were distracted taking him around, you snuck in with a pair of clothes that you stole, a pair of security gear that you stole, and with it a badge. It belongs to a member known as Thanatos, one of from your research, one of Mercury's group. He must have been out drunk one night, and you slipped the badge off of him and got into his locker one time before you were kicked out by Mercury's group and then followed by Arden. But now you are in one of the sub basement levels. We're gonna say that you're probably in floor, we'll say basement level 17. We'll just say that. And you're kind of looking around. And what are you here for, Max? What are you looking for?
So Max has been saying for months that this entire project that they have going on is a really bad idea. He has expressed concerns multiple times to Evelyn, to Arden, to anyone that he could get to speak to, that what is going on is not a good thing. Everyone's just kind of dismissed him, everyone's just kind of brushed him off, everyone's just kind of reassured him that, oh no, everything's going to be fine, or have just been like, I don't have time to deal with you, get out of my office. So he's trying to get down into these sub-levels, and he's trying to find evidence that this is not what they're saying it is. He's trying to find evidence that there's something really sketchy going on here, and that the people of Eden are in danger.
Well, you are theoretical research floors are kind of grouped up in the teens for the most part. Then you have in the 20s, you have kind of your medical research according to the documents that you've stolen from a certain security office. You've made your way down to the, theoretical research, and it's pretty open. you haven't really run into anybody. A few people here and there, but your clothing kind of hides the fact of who you are. You've kind of hidden your camera. You brought one of your smaller cameras with you. You're kind of moving through the floors as things are kind of normal, and you find a floor called botany research or floral experimental floor, and it lists or room, and it lists a couple different experiments labeled with numbers. You do have a document on you if you'd like to go through and see what those are, if you're interested in that. Otherwise, you're here for a particular research, right?
Yes.
The generator, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this one is not definitely not the generator. This floor, these sets of floors definitely aren't the generators either. So, are you interested in anything going on in here?
Yeah, at this point, with the scale of the operation that he's seeing, he's not going to turn down any kind of lead at this point. Walking through like the medical floor and looking around, he's trying to look for anything that seems super out of the ordinary, and he's definitely going to look at this document and see what information he can glean from it.
So there's a lot of different things in here, including a bioluminescent fungus that generates electricity, that can be contained in large kind of grow areas, where it basically it's the experiment is, it states basically reusable, renewable, never-ending power, and that's in this room. And another thing called supercorn. Underneath it has a note meant to basically it states that it's meant to help world hunger.
He's gonna look at both of those, and he's gonna be like, I mean, they can't really fuck up corn. They can't. There's not really any way they can fuck up corn. The fungus, though, he's like, I've played Last of Us. I know that you can probably do some scary shit with fungus.
So do you go in and look around? It seems like your badge is of the right kind of thing to open up these doors.
Yeah, he's gonna head to the fungus one, and he's gonna have a look.
All right. You kind of scan, beep, the door kind of like turns green, and you slide it to the side, and you walk in. You start looking around. You see these tall stalks of this strangely very vibrant green corn stalks, and you kind of walk through those things, and you get to the back area of the research room, where this really blue, beautiful fungus is growing up on the walls of this almost rounded room. And you feel that electromagnetic field. You can smell the ozone that it's putting off. It's very intense. And you can tell that as you're kind of walking through, nothing in this room has an outlet. There's no outlets. Nothing in this room has a plug-in, but everything is powered.
He's taking pictures as he's going, and he's making a mental note of that to write it down later. But he's going to kind of just take a second, and I'm actually going to roll investigation check.
Pretty much at this point, I'm not going to ask you to make any rolls. If you want to look for something, it's okay to look for it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's just going to kind of look around to see if there's anything that seems out of place about this, anything that seems out of the ordinary that doesn't match what the description on the documentation that he has says.
Everything in this room seems pretty to the point of the documentation. The only thing is the horn is stated to be problematic. It seems to they're having a hard time with it, and that the bioluminescent energy fungus is not complete. It's not ready, is what it states. But that is the thing that kind of like strikes you the difference, is because you're realizing that every little bit of electronic in this room is being wirelessly powered by this fungus that's in the room, and it feels like, what more could they want? What more are they doing with it? It strikes you weird that they have managed to make a wireless power source, but it's still stated as unfinished.
He's going to take a few more pictures and he's going to step out of that room, but he's making mental notes of all of this as he's going.
So as you step out of that room, you hear a voice. Maxwell. It echoes through the room. Seems to have been coming from behind you in the fungus section.
He's gonna jump and he's gonna turn around, and he just kind of reflexively goes into like a kind of hands up fighting stance for just a second, and then he stops and looks around and he goes, "Hello."
No voice is responded to you. No sound. Simply just that buzzing of the atmosphere. But as you're kind of peeking around, you see something dart in a mirror. You see a little reflection in the corner of your eye just go past it real quick. But you didn't hear any movement.
Nope. He's seen these horror movies, and he's not someone who's gonna stick around and try to be like, "Hello, is anyone there?" and try to look around. He's backing out of that room.
As you're backing out of the room, you accidentally knock over one of the pots containing one of the stalks of super corn. And as you kind of hit the ground, falling into the dirt, the ground beneath you starts to shake. As a rather large earthquake happens, everything in the room starts to shake even more. And that's when, off in the distance, at the corner that you're in, you see something strange. You see a reflection of maybe one of the more shinier devices, but you see yourself, but you look drenched in red, like it's starting to make, like your head is bleeding, and then that blood starts to stain you, and then you hear your name again, Maxwell.
What the fuck? He's gonna try to take a picture as he's trying to get back to his feet and get out of this room.
As you go to take a picture, the shaking stops, and is your camera digital or is it film?
It's digital.
Okay. You get up and you kind of like are looking at the pictures. You kind of leave the room as quickly as you can, and as you're kind of like looking through the pictures, heading for like, do you go for the stairway or do you go for the elevator?
He's going for the stairs. He's trying to keep a low profile, and he's been in this building enough to know that the building's AI is connected to that elevator.
It's connected to everything.
Yeah.
As you're heading for the staircase, you're searching through the pictures, kind of just briskly walking. You are looking through the pictures and you get to the one that you just took. And in the picture, there is no light, even though it was bright in there. But you can very vividly see a figure with a bit of a red hue to it, standing in the room beyond where you were, where you took the picture, with large protrusions from the head. It's hard to really see because there's not a lot of light, even though it was very bright in there, it's like you took a picture and the flash is the only thing that gave light in that room. And you can see this tall, horned figure staring at you in the picture. And right as you look up from that, kind of in a bit of horror, you slam into a person. A relatively average-sized man with a streak of white in their hair, looking sleep-deprived to no tomorrow, trying to get some coffee out of a coffee pot in the hallway. Hezekiah, can you please join us?
Yeah.
You came out to get some coffee because you woke up from the shaking a little bit. You didn't really recognize the shaking. You just thought maybe one of your lab assistants woke you up and came out with your coffee pot to fill up, realizing there's no coffee. And then as you go to sigh and make coffee, you get slammed into by another person.
Maxwell just kind of like puts the camera away real quick and looks at this individual and just kind of like stops and grabs him like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You good?"
You need to watch where you're going. What the?
Yeah. I get told that a lot. I'm very, very sorry. And he's like making his way like around this individual, and he's just kind of he's still rattled from what he just experienced and just happened, but he's trying to make his way past this person.
They seem to be a security guard, one of Mercury's men. You never really bothered to put name badge to face, but they seem to be acting really odd for somebody who's one of Mercury's people.
You're one of Mercury's people, right?
Yeah. It's sorry. I'm kind of a late addition to the roster.
It's you're I don't remember your name.
That's perfectly fine. I'm the low man on the totem pole. I kind of expect that. If it makes you feel any better, I don't think that we've actually met, so that might help.
Max, as you're talking to this individual, you've now scooted yourself around him, kind of looking in the direction of the elevator, which is back where you came from. That side of the hallway, and in fact that side of the floor, is dark. It's not like the lights are off, because you can see the slight glow, but it seems like something is dimming the light, snuffing it out, draining it. And as you look back, saying that last thing, you again see the horned, tall figure in the dark, just barely seeable because it seems to be darker than the darkness. You hear your name again, Maxwell.
Does Hezekiah react to that at all?
No, Hezekiah seems to just be staring at you, a little bit peeved and a little bit annoyed, and you can tell probably hasn't slept properly in weeks.
Yep.
Well, I should be getting back to my patrol.
Darkness is getting closer.
Yeah. Actually, he's gonna like reach into his pocket and pull out his phone and look at it for a second, and then look at Hezekiah. And he's gonna kind of lean into the role. He goes, "I need you to get back into your office right now." Like his entire tone changes.
Why?
Security alert, that shaking that just happened a few minutes ago. They're starting to lock the place down.
The darkness is so close. You can feel a bit of cold air blowing from it. You can slightly see a blackened, clawed hand reaching for the back of Hezekiah.
He's going to reach out, put a hand on Hezekiah's arm, and pull Hezekiah towards his office.
As you do that,
Um,
go ahead, Hezekiah.
what the hell are you doing?
My job.
Uh-huh.
You are more than welcome to take it up with Arden when this is all
Oh, I
said and
will.
done. That's
What was your
perfectly
name
fine.
again?
Troy.
His badge
Right.
says Thanatos.
Yeah.
That implies that I, one, remember names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll probably be neither Troy nor Thanatos by the time I take it up to Arden.
I love it.
The darkness is pulled back a little bit, but it's still there staring at you.
He very gently but very forcefully relocates Hezekiah to the door of their office and then closes the door behind them and says, "Lock the door," through the door, and he's moving.
As you're going towards the as you do that, Hezekiah, we can say goodbye to you for now.
Alright.
As you were moving towards the staircase, you look back and the darkness is gone, but what you do see is a lot of pottery dirt on the floor coming from that room. You've forgotten to shut the door.
Fuck. He's not gonna go back. He's just gonna be like, well, whatever was going on there already got out. I'm not going to. I'm sure Arden's team has stuff on hand that they can handle something like this.
A giant, probably 8-foot tall demon.
I mean, all I've got is a set of hands. I don't even know if I have a gun.
You do not.
Yeah.
So you flee to the back to the stairwell, and do you get the fuck out of here now, or do you push forward?
He's still got a job to do. He's seen some really hairy shit in his time. He's still trying to get down to that generator and take some pictures.
Very well. You persist down the stairway, going floor after floor after floor, and it takes you quite a while. And as you're about to kind of reach the last floor, you can feel the ground beneath you shaking again. And as it starts to shake, you can hear echoing very loudly down the stairway, "Maxwell." As the stairway lights start to burst, one after another, descending the stairs rapidly. Fastening, getting faster and faster. As almost like a tsunami of darkness is spiraling down the staircase. You've maybe got 5 floors left before you get to the floor with the generator.
Maxwell's gonna kind of duck as the lights shatter overhead. He's gonna just mutter a slew of curses under his breath, and he's gonna pull out a flashlight from his gear and he's gonna turn it on. He's gonna start shining it as he's making his way down.
You start to hear hoof steps descending the stairway. Your name being called out almost playfully.
He's booking it. He's moving fast.
You make it to the stairwell of the floor with the generator. It reads generator experimental floor. It has been dedicated to this entire floor. And as you go to open the door, it seems locked. Does Maxwell know how to pick locks?
Actually, yes, he does.
The stairway floors aren't key coded. They don't have passcodes from the internal aspect. Only on the outside do they get the beep so that they could possibly trap any intruders that were to hide in the stairwell. And you start to hear the hoof prints on the floor above you, slowly stepping one after another. The smell of sulfur, iron, and rust. It smells god awful.
Maxwell is going to pick the lock and get into the generator room.
As you are picking the lock, it's hard to do in the dark. You're trying to hold the flashlight. You're trying to pick the lock. You eventually just kind of like bite down on the flashlight and start working. That smell's getting more rich, deeper, denser. There starts to be this almost harshened chill to the point where it feels like you're being burned, but with cold. And then as you hear the click of the lock and you start to pull the handle down, you feel on your neck breath. Maxwell. And you throw the door open and go through it. The darkness does not follow you.
He's gonna slam the door shut and he's gonna turn around. Is there like one of those little like slit windows like you see in like on some doors?
Yes.
He's gonna slam that door shut, throw the lock, and he's gonna look through that window to see what's there.
The only thing you see is a large slit smile with sharp, jagged, serrated teeth smiling from the other side.
Maxwell lifts up his camera and puts it to the glass and takes a picture, and then puts his camera back away and does this. Hey, Bubba, come here.
You're on the floor with the generator.
All right, he's gonna pull out that camera, and is it light in here? Can he see what's going on, or are the lights all
The lights are on.
too?
No, the lights are on. In fact, as you turn around, you kind of see that the lights in the stairwell are on. They're not shattered.
He just kind of shakes his head. He's like, I fucking hate this place. This is... And he, like, does this number.
When you do
like,
that,
his family
you
is,
suddenly
like,
start
Irish
to feel...
Catholic.
You start to feel a little bit of, like, a heartburn after you do that.
Huh. Like, ugh. Maybe not need to go to that taco place in the future. And he's gonna keep moving.
The floor down here feels weird. The generator isn't on, but it feels weird down here. It's very quiet. There's a hallway, but every window shows this massive room on the other side of it. Like, the hallway kind of just skirts around the main room. And every door, it seems like there's like maybe one or two doors down this hallway, but they lead to this generator room. And you see this massive machinery with this bluish light on the inside of it glowing. And you can see people kind of inside working on some things. They're in these like full hazmat suits. They seem to be taking numbers and reading things, and some of them seem a little frantic, maybe because of the two earthquakes that just kind of happened. Maybe something got messed up or something strange, and so, but no one in the hallway directly.
Maxwell's taking pictures as he's moving, like the people in the hazmat suits, all of that stuff, and he's checking the doors as he's going to see if there's a way he can get into any of these rooms and take some more pictures and look around.
Yeah, I mean, most of the doors are locked, and it seems like even this Thanatos person doesn't have access points to it. You might need somebody with a little bit more oomph in their security clearance.
Mm.
You do remember
He's-
seeing a secondary key card of Arden. Maybe Arden has one. Has enough to get in.
Ooh.
But you'd have to go back up
Where-
the stairway. You'd have to go up to floor 15.
Before he commits to that, he wants to look around and see if there is like a piece of like a metal bar or something like that he
I mean, there's a
could-
fire axe. You would have to pick the lock to release the fire axe, but there is a fire axe in case of needing to hack your way out of a locked or blocked building. There's also a fire extinguisher right next to it.
He's gonna pick the lock on that fire axe, provided it doesn't set off a fire alarm.
No, it's pretty easy. I mean, it seems like if you broken the glass, which it says to break the glass, then yeah, for sure. But you pretty much pick lock it and it just opens and the axe is there.
He's gonna pick it up, kind of heft it in one hand, flourish it around a little bit. Clearly seems like he knows his way around something like this. And he just kind of his neck and he goes, okay. Floor 15. And he looks back at the door he just came through.
Got a lot of floors to go, my man.
Yeah. Fuck. And he starts walking to the door, and as he does, he's like reciting a Hail Mary in Latin.
That heartburn is getting real fucking bad. Holy shit, those tacos have done a number on you. Like, exceedingly getting worse. As you unlock the latch, open the door. You begin your ascent as you make your way one floor after another, getting closer and closer to the top. Till eventually you get to a point where you're probably around floor 23. And then you hear a blood-curdling scream come from above.
Mm-hmm.
A woman's scream.
He's gonna start moving a little bit faster, and he's gripping that axe a little bit tighter.
As you ascend the floors, you now can hear what sounds like a commotion on floor 21. You make it to floor 21. You momentarily peek through. You see the floor is torn apart. Windows are broken. Devices are thrown about. The elevator seems to be blockaded. And then a woman comes running out of one of the rooms. She seems to have blood on her lab coat. You know this to be the medical wing. And she slams against the door and yells, "Please help me! Please, you gotta come and get me! The door won't open!" And she's trying to pull on the door.
I'm gonna try to axe that door open.
Yeah, you swing at the door. You angle for the latch mechanism. And you hack at it. She's still screaming, "Please just help me! Help me!" And then you do it. The door busts open. As she whips it open, she goes, "Oh, thank God!" Then a vine wraps around her neck and rips her backwards and drags her into one of the rooms. What do you do?
Maxwell is just gonna fuck, and he's gonna run in, and he's gonna try to get to that room if he can.
I'll say, yeah, if Max acts quickly, he'll get there. Yeah, he gets to the room. let's say, give me a D100 roll. See if you get there fast enough to cut the vine before she's pulled into the room, or if you get there after she's pulled into the room.
74.
You're running after her. You just don't make it in time to get to that vine. As then she's whipped around the corner, you can hear her screaming. As you kind of turn the corner, you see these 9 foot, maybe 9.5 foot tall corn stalks. People hanging from pierced corn. As they see, as maybe 4 or 5 of them are devouring the flesh, ripping the insides out and planting seeds in the bodies. As one of the corn stalks without eyes kind of shifts your direction and begins to head your way very quickly.
Fuck. Am I going to be the first combat of the game? Or am I going to run? You know what? He's running.
Smart move. I wouldn't run in this situation.
Yep.
I wouldn't fight in this situation. Yeah, as you go and run, what do? Do you head for the elevator that's blocked or the stairway?
He's going back the way he came. He's going through the stairs. He'd rather deal with whatever might be in the stairwell right now than whatever the fuck this is.
So it's been hours since you came in. Going down those floors took a long time. And that time you spent in the stairway, last time you looked at your phone, it was maybe 4 something in the morning. You don't remember being there that long, but... And then now you kind of are running and you kind of bust through the stairway. Some of the corn creatures are coming after you. They're coming up the stairway with you. You kind of break sight for a moment. You are heading up the stairs, and then you bust into floor 17 to hide, knowing that this is the last place you were. Hezekiah comes out of their room, and looking pale, panicked, and gripping a gun. And that's where we're going to end it. As we pull away, we see a dropped phone in the stairway right before it gets crushed by corn. It's around 9, maybe 10 a.m. Where did Maxwell go in that stairway? Why has it been hours? Why is Hezekiah so freaked out? Why are they gripping a gun, pointing it at Maxwell? I guess we'll have to see what happened in Hezekiah's story. Thank you for joining another episode. And remember, everyone, every view, every like, comment, subscription helps us keep building these worlds, telling these stories, and bringing more adventures to the table. A special shout out to our players, our dungeon master, and everyone behind the scenes who helped make this show possible. And an extra thank you to our community. You support us more than you know. If you want to help the channel grow, check out our Patreon. Even joining the free tier helps support the channel, keeps you connected with updates, and lets you be a part of the Storyteller's Tales community as we continue to grow our channel and tell more stories. A huge shout out to our Patreon supporters and everyone who shared the show, commented on the episode, or told a friend about us. You helped keep the dice rolling. And a special shout out to our Realm Shaper tier member, Lauren Sullivan. Thank you. Thank you very much. And until next time, everyone, remember, tell your grandma. See ya.